Hi, hello, and welcome to the 75th Annual Santa Maria Elks Rodeo. We are live. I'm Elliot Stern from your Santa Maria Times, and we're going to be here tonight before the kickoff of the 75th Annual Santa Maria Elks Rodeo. This is a historic year. 75 times we've done this. It's the Denim and Diamonds anniversary. It started way back in 1944 and it's been going strong ever since. It's getting bigger and better every year. This year promises to be the best ever. They're going to have almost 400 professional rodeo cowboy competitors, plus extreme bronc riders and local Elks team ropers. So this arena is going to be packed with action for the next four nights, and well, 3 nights and Sunday afternoon. And I'm Elliot Stern. As I said, we're going to be live here for the next hour, leading up to tonight's first pro performance. And then we'll be covering it all weekend at your Santa Maria Times, online and in print. But really, the action began earlier this morning, 10 o'clock to be exact, with the annual Minetti Mini Rodeo. Now, when the rodeo started 75 years ago, one of the first things they had riding and roping and steer wrestling, but they had kids events, kids racing and kids roping and kids barrel runs. And they still go today with a Minetti Mini Rodeo that honors the late Clarence Minetti, who really championed the mini rodeo for the many years that he was the president of Elks Rec. And they keep it going strong even today. Now, the last few years, the Elks Recreation, which puts on the rodeo, has had a president, Phil Harwick, and he passed away this year, so somebody new took it over, and that's Peter Sterling. He's been a long-time chairman of the Queen program, but now he's the Elks Rec president. So that's just one thing that's new, and Peter and I sat down and talked about some of the other new things you'll be seeing here live at the 75th Annual Elks Rodeo.
This is your first year as president of Elks Rec.
Yeah, it is.
I'll bet it's been really busy.
It has been. It's overwhelming at times, but it really is a lot of fun. There's a lot of energy, and we're doing a lot of things, so a lot of activity going on.
And you're doing double duty. You're still in charge of the Elks Rodeo Queen.
Right, yes. I've been doing that off and on for over 20 years. And so the way it worked out, we were halfway into this rodeo planning season, and so I retained the chairmanship of the Queen contest as well. So I'm going to do both of them for this year. My wife's stepping in to help us out, so she's going to help me out with the Queen contest so I can do other things as well.
So what is new and exciting that everybody can expect to see out at the rodeo?
Well, we have a couple of good things. One of the acts that we're going to have in the middle of the arena is called the Businessmen's Barrel Race, and it's when the businessmen will ride on a inflatable horses, and they'll be and women as well, but they'll be riding around barrels similar to your horse race, your barrel race, and there'll be a prize. I think they'll win a belt buckle. They're going to have a series of qualifications for the Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night, and then on Sunday it'll be a final. So the winners that won those 3 will then compete for the belt buckles.
Now that's a pretty special belt buckle, as is everything this year because it's a 70th anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
Special custom-made silver buckle.
Yeah, it's a beautiful buckle. It has a gold on it and has a 75th anniversary emblem, our logo for this year. Denim and Diamonds. It's a really beautiful buckle.
And what is it about the rodeo's been around 75 years. It's the longest civic event.
Oh yeah, I mean it is Santa Maria's main event, and it's the rodeo is the community's. We just put it on for the community, and we're their stewards of the rodeo.
Peter and his crew, the Elks Rec volunteers, have done once again an outstanding job. It's a beautiful night here in Santa Maria at the Elks Unocal Event Center, south side of town. It's bright sunshine, and of course this is Santa Maria, lots of wind. But that's not going to stop anybody from having a great time here tonight. The cowboys and the cowgirls are getting ready. The stands are filling up. So we're going to have 4 nights of Professional Rodeo Cowboys Association and Women's Professional Rodeo Association competition. These are some of the best riders and ropers in America, some current champions, past champions, in all kinds of different events are going to be here. So the rodeo really takes center stage, but it is not the only thing that's going to be on the stage. Now, the rodeo has become bigger and better than ever. It has been voted the best medium-sized rodeo in America by the Women's Professional Rodeo Association. And there's lots to do. It's not just come out and watch them ride and rope. They got a midway, they got dances, they got all kinds of things. Let's have Elks Rodeo Chief Operations Officer Tina Tanasha help fill us in on what all those things just might be.
Very, very special. Took us 75 years to get here. No, we're very excited. It's a milestone anniversary for us. So.
Okay, so it's going to be a star-studded performance. All kinds of big names are going to be here.
We do. We have 7 of the Wright family will be here. Just amazing. Thursday and Sunday and Saturday's lineups look amazing. So we're very excited about that. Gosh, barrel racing, Nellie Miller's going to be here, the current world champion. So it was pretty exciting to see our lineup come through this year, especially being our 75th anniversary, to have those kind of folks coming out to join us and celebrate with us. So we're pretty excited. It's going to be a great show.
Well, that's right. So it'll be a great show in the arena, but it is so much more than that. You got the Camp Buckaroo.
Yes.
You got all kinds of specialty events. You got behind-the-scenes tours. Tell me about some of the things that's more than just riding and roping and
there is
bullfighting.
So much with this rodeo. It's trying to think of some of the things. So we start out, we have our kids stick horse race. So I don't know if you know about that, but that takes place prior to the rodeo. We have 15 little ones out there racing stick horses. We have a coin dig where we throw $100 worth of silver dollar coins in the arena, and the kids for free get to go in and dig, and that's always fun to watch the parents that try to dig too. So we get a kick out of that. Was that 10 and under? We have the coin dig race for the kids. Both of those are free things. Family oriented, Elliot. It's all about family in this community. Camp Buckaroo, Central Coast Party Factory has put together an amazing Camp Buckaroo this year. So many bounce houses and bungee jumping, or not bungee jumping, I'm sorry, you know, the bouncy, the bungee. Just some fun pony rides, mechanical bull for the kids. I mean, you'd love it. You could actually ride it too, Elliot. So we're just so excited. We have lots of activities going on. We have pre-rodeo concerts. On Thursday, we have the magician and illusionist coming out, Jared Hall. He's an incredible show. And Thursday night is kids free, 12 and under with the paid admission, adult admission. So we tried to make it really family oriented that night. So lots of exciting things happening. Midway, we have more vendors than we've ever had. We're trying to find a way to fit them all in there. So that's pretty cool. So lots of shopping, lots of food, lots of fun. It's going to be a great time.
So you have some new things this year. You have a businessman's barrel race.
We do have a businessman's barrel race. It's going to be our newest, funnest event. You guys have a rep competing, so pretty excited about that. I believe your horse's name is Newsflash, if I'm correct. So that should be a lot of fun. It's something new we're doing, you know, and it's a way to get the business community involved and just have some fun, you know, a little competitive spirit out there. So we've got the Army Push-Up Challenge. We partnered with the high schools to bring that, you know, to the rodeo on Thursday night, and a way to give back to their athletic programs, or, you know, to make a donation. We've got the FFA kids out there earning tips in the box seats, being waiters, so we can give donations back to their programs. So just a huge community event. There's just so many elements. We had the window decorating with the high school students. We bussed 120 high school kids into town to paint windows, and you know, Bob Orrick and his team did a tremendous job putting that together in itself.
We have 3 new rodeo celebrities this year.
We have 3 new rodeo celebrities. We have Miss Minnie Rodeo, whom you've got to meet. We also have our junior barrel man, first time ever. And for the first time ever as well, we have a Miss Santa Maria Elks Rodeo, Ashley Singh, and she will be able to go on and represent us from here on out at rodeos throughout the year. So pretty excited about that as well.
Welcome back. We are live here at the Elks Unocal Event Center. Thank you for being with us as we count down to the 75th anniversary Denim and Diamonds edition of the Santa Maria Elks Rodeo. I mentioned that we got underway this morning with an annual Minetti mini rodeo. Now, this is my 18th year out here covering the rodeo, and I have to say my favorite event is always the mini rodeo. I come out for the qualifiers at the end of April or the beginning of May every year when they have it. Make sure we write it up for your Santa Maria Times, and then of course we're back here for the actual event. They qualify either at the very end of April or beginning of May, and the top 5 come back for their buckle runs in front of 6,000 school children, mostly 3rd graders, that are bussed in from all around the Central Coast. And one of the unusual signs of cooperation, a different fraternal organization, the Fraternal Order of Eagles, actually holds fundraisers to raise money to help pay for the buses to get those kids right over here to the Elks Rodeo. And then the kids, they compete, they go for buckles in team roping, barrel racing, and breakaway roping, and it is so exciting. You see these kids 5, 6, 7 years old, they ride like the wind. It is just so much fun to watch them. The barrel racers put up times, especially the older ones, that rival the professional women in the WPRA. I mean, they are quick, lightning fast. I just enjoy it so much. You should all come out and see it, and you can come out and see all the grown-ups do it tonight beginning at 7, Friday night at 7, Saturday at 6, and Sunday at 2. And of course, we'll keep you all posted right here at SantaMariaTimes.com and online and in print. Now, the program begins just like the grown-ups with the world's largest American flag flown in. Kent Lane is the man who is proud to do it every year. He hits dead center in the arena, and that's what gets everything officially underway. And man, he has jumped 15, 20,000 times, and he is very impressive. Let's give you a chance to meet skydiver Kent Lane.
I'm very proud to be able to present our flag like this. I think a lot of people get to see it in a different way, and it's very exceptional to be able to do something like this.
How many times a year do you fly a flag in like this?
I fly a flag like this about 70 times a year, which I think is probably more than anybody in the world does.
And it's not just rodeos, though, right?
That's correct, yeah.
What other things?
Yep, do NFL games, Major League, race car events, you name it.
I've seen you in NASCAR.
Yeah.
So, how many times, you've been here about, what, 15 years in Santa Maria?
Yeah, about that.
Long time.
Yeah.
Now, you get to go to so many different places. NFL stadiums have 50, 60, 70,000.
Yeah.
We're a little bit smaller, but is this much fun?
Actually, more so. These are actually my favorites, so I'm trying to do mostly these kind of events because I'm more close to the people, and the flag is pretty dynamic in a stadium like this.
You know, the Santa Maria Elks Rodeo is a tradition. 75 years and stronger than ever. But there are generations and generations of people that have come here to watch and compete. Now, Alice Patino is Santa Maria's mayor. She was a longtime city councilwoman before Larry Lavanino retired. She got elected, and now she is the mayor of Santa Maria. Her husband, John, is a longtime Elks team roper. Her son, John Jr., is a current team roper, and her grandchildren are competing not only in the mini rodeo, but they've won state championships and are going to the high school, junior high, and high school national finals rodeo. So she comes from a rodeo family that shows just how deep in this community rodeo really is. You won't find a stronger supporter than Santa Maria Mayor Alice Patino.
You know, I think it's amazing. It's probably the biggest event we have in the community. Everyone comes together, whether they rodeo or whether they're a spectator, all the festivities that go on. And then you have the parade where the streets are lined, I don't know how many, 4 or 5 deep. So it's the whole community comes out. It's a great time in Santa Maria.
So now, you've been involved a long time.
Yes.
You were in the Queen contest at any point?
Never,
No.
never, no.
No, but now your family is. Your husband was a team roper.
My husband was a team roper. My sons and my son and his son won the Elks team roping last year, and so this year he gets to be in it with his daughter. So we'll see how that goes.
Now, as a proud grandma, we ought to mention that we've got a couple grandchildren that have just been stars of the junior high school and the California high school state championships.
Yes.
Tell us a little about that.
So Sophia Patino went to the state finals at the junior high and won the champion breakaway. So she did like 3 steers in 10 seconds, 10 point some seconds. And then Tanner Patino graduates this year, and he was in the high school rodeo and won the, he and Cutter Machado won the team roping, and he was also the all-around cowboy. For the year.
Cutter Machado and his brother Chance, they're going to rope in the PRCA.
That's right.
All the generations.
We see them all. And all these kids go to ropings together, so they're all friends and they're all supportive of one another. It's really nice to see the camaraderie within the ranks of the high school rodeo. A bunch of good kids. They love to help one another out. If someone's horse goes down, there's a friend there that will give them a horse.
Now, we're at the Minetti Mini Rodeo as we're recording this. This is unique, having all these kids here and all these kids competing. So what do you think of the Minetti Mini Rodeo?
I think it's great. I think some of these children, they're 3rd graders. This is the first time they've ever been to a rodeo, and they love it. They just love it. And they come from all around the valley. So it's a great experience for them. They got to see the American flag come down with the man from dropped out of the airplane with the large American flag. I think it's great for all these kids to see, and you can hear them. They are so enthusiastic.
Riding and roping, that's going to take center stage when we kick off the 75th annual Elks Rodeo in just a few minutes. We're live here, and they're going to be live in the arena filling the place up. And you know, it's more than just the men and women though, riding, roping, steer wrestling, bull riding. It takes a lot of people. The Elks Rodeo has a recreation committee that has a whole bunch of people with volunteers. It takes about 200 volunteers, behind the scenes people, to bring this together and make it all work every year. And they work just about 12 months to get it going. They'll take a few days off after it ends. They've already started planning for next year, but after it ends, they'll take a few days off, get everybody back together, and go again. Get it ready for next year's 76th. And some of those people are very important that are not riding or roping. They're the performers that help bring you the rodeo. Performers like Hall of Famers Bob Tallman and Wayne Brooks. This is a Hall of Fame combination of rodeo announcers. Brooks actually rides in the arena. Tallman is overlooking the action. And they just love coming back to Santa Maria year after year. These guys are Hall of Famers. They can pick and choose to go to any rodeo they want. And they pick us. They pick Santa Maria. They just love coming back to town.
Well, I love the weather, but he's been in Arizona and Texas for about 3 weeks, and he's about to freeze to death. But what is there not to like when you think about what this community accomplishes? And it's a little overwhelming for any other community this size. But, you know, they've been doing it this way with the Queen competition, with the local sponsors and the local involvement since day one. And there are very few communities that'll fall into suit and just turn over the entire town's real estate, and it all flows and goes. But that's the Santa Maria Valley. and you got to throw, or you got to go here to, you know, to Buellton, dang near to Santa Barbara that way, and San Luis that way. And so when it all falls into suit and place, if you didn't have this rodeo, people would go into some kind of remission. They'd be falling apart.
Well, and I think also it's a little overwhelming for committees that come and see what they get done here. You know, when you talk about the benevolence, which is this guy's favorite word to use in the world of rodeo, give a little back to the community, and what they get done with the amount of people that they have here. You know, this isn't 4,000 volunteers like they have at a few other rodeos that they have around the country. It's just a handful of people that really care about their community and get a lot done and put on one of the biggest and best rodeos of the year. When you have a $100,000 purse up for grabs, that's going to guarantee that you've got the best of everything. Whether it's the cowboys, or the livestock, or the barrel man, or the bullfighters, the A-team's here.
You got to give the Elks, their families, their businesses, 3 generations deep now. You've got to throw that credit back that before Clarence Minetti, and when you throw that much power, you see, they're already planning for 5 years from now. And it's not like when it's over, okay, everybody goes home for 2 months, then we'll have a 4-H gathering and figure out what we're going to do next year. Tina T has followed suit because of her love for Clarence and the Elks and what they've done. And you've covered this for how long? You and I have talked about this before.
18 years.
Yeah. And you take yesterday's rhetoric that falls into place that makes today's happenings, that creates the desire to do it bigger and better over the next 5-10 years. And you take the sponsor level of it. You know, the Ram Rodeo program's 37, 30, almost 40 years old. And you take a Dodge dealer like this that can make things prosper. I'm looking at the paintings in the Dodge showroom of Santa Maria Elks Rodeo and Parade on this window in this store. You take those little bits and see how that weaving comes, and everybody is tied one way or another. Tomorrow morning, 6,000 kids that they'll bus into that arena. And I started here years and years ago, way downtown in the old arena. And you bring 6,000 school kids in there, and Wayne and I'll be there, Justin Rumford will be there, Reno Rosser will be there, Cal Poly will be there, and the Elks will be there. So pat them on the back. They're the cause of it.
Most important people in the world of rodeo, volunteers.
When rodeo first began, I mean, way back when, in the 1800s, cowboys would get together, want to show who's the best rider, the best roper. And when they started to formalize it and actually have formal rodeo competitions, one of the very first rodeo competitions was wild horse racing. Now it's evolved, and now we call it extreme bronc riding. It's one of the oldest competitions in rodeo. The president of the Extreme Bronc Riding Association's from right here in San Ynez, that's Bill Agan. Now it's 3 men, they go out in the arena, they have to stop, saddle, and ride a wild horse through a finish line in under 2 minutes. If they do it in under, they got to really do it in under a minute to have a chance of winning, because these guys are quick, but it is mayhem. Bill Agan calls it controlled mayhem. I think it's just plain insanity.
It's one of the oldest rodeo events. Yes, there were 3 of what we know today as sanctioned events, and this was one of them. And the other 2 were saddle bronc riding and steer roping.
So it has a long and crazy history.
Yes.
Explain a little bit about what, because it's had different names, wild horse racing.
Yes, it has.
Wild bronc riding and things. Explain a little bit about what people can expect to see with an.
All right, so we've got a 3-man team, right? We've got The chute's full of horses. Now here's the misconception. A lot of times people see it and they think, oh, they turn all these horses out and then they have to run out there and catch them. Well, we don't. We have halters and lead shanks on them already. They're unbroke, young bucking horses usually. And they fire a gun and we all come out at the same time. So there's 3 men and 1 horse in each chute. So if you got 6 teams competing, you got 18 guys and 6 horses all in the arena at the same time. Now it's very simple. All you have to do is stop the horse, put your arm around his neck and hold him down, put a saddle on and buck him to the finish line. It's easy, or it sounds easy. We like to say it's controlled chaos.
Now, when they do saddle bronc riding, because a little of what you do is
similar
to
yes.
saddle bronc riding, they go out one at a time.
Yes.
This is the mayhem. You've got horses going every which way, people getting dragged through the dirt. But it's a crowd favorite.
Well, a rodeo announcer once told me that if you start the rodeo with our event, 2 hours later he still has them on the edge of their seat, so he loves it. And it is a crowd favorite, yes, but it's quick. In other words, if the rodeo is ready to begin, don't go for popcorn or a hot dog because you're going to miss us. You know, you have a maximum of 2 minutes to complete this. And if you're going to win first, even at Santa Maria, and this is a very large arena, if you're going to win first here in a go round, you're probably going to have to be under 50 seconds. Most people can't even catch their saddle horse in 50 seconds.
It's crazy to watch. People love it. Seeing you guys getting dragged through the dirt, I think that's their favorite part. It's like guys getting thrown off of bulls.
Yes.
When you guys get somebody holding on for dear life trying to get that horse stopped and being dragged through the dirt.
When we did the movie Flicka, and I was coordinator on that, and I had about, I don't know what I had, 12, 15 cowboys on that set. And the producer came to me and we were standing there and he's looking at the horses and everything and he goes, you guys are really going to put saddles on these horses in the arena? I said, don't blink, buddy, because it's going to happen faster than you think.
I'd like to take a second to thank all these nice people and the ones you're going to hear from in a minute to taking time out of their busy schedules before the rodeo to talk to me, along with our executive producer, Jason Anderson, and our director, Braxton Carroll. We're enjoying bringing you this live program from the Elks Rodeo. Another person that really enjoys bringing you the rodeo is Justin Rumford. He's not only the 6-time World Champion Clown of the Year for the PRCA, it's 6 straight years, including right up to now, up to 2017. He's another one. He's an Oklahoma boy, former steer rider, who is now making a life and a living on the road as a rodeo clown, and he just loves making time for the Santa Maria Rodeo.
So, welcome back to Santa Maria. We had fun at the clown school.
Had a great time at the clown school.
We got to dress up and do what you do. But now we're here, it's rodeo time.
Right.
So, you're a rodeo clown and a barrel man. That's 2 different things. One is fun and silly, the other's much more serious. So
yeah.
Tell me a little about that.
Well, you know, as far as the entertainment side goes, you know, when people think of clowns, they don't always think of like an entertainer. But in rodeo, we're kind of the roaming reporter in the field, you know, so we're not always cracking the jokes like you'd associate with clowns. We're not like, hey kids, you know, we're doing a lot of crowd interaction, you know, with sing-alongs and just making sure that people have a good time, filling in the cracks. So, you know, we're more on the entertainment side of things, and you know, during the acts we do get to have a lot of fun and make jokes and laugh and goof off. But yeah, during the bull riding, our job is very serious with the barrel and helping those guys out. Those barrels are built really good, aircraft aluminum, padded inside and out, and so there's still a bit of a danger aspect, but not so bad. So. Well,
now, when you learn the rough stuff, you learn the bulls.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not just you go in the arena, you tell jokes and duck in the can. You actually know the tendencies these bulls have, what to watch out for, you know, so.
Yeah, it's understanding the animals, understanding the bulls. I compare it to driving a car. You know, if you don't know how to drive a car, you can't get in a car and drive across town. You're going to wreck. But if you take time to learn about the car, learn about the safety features, learn about things that can be dangerous in a car, when you get in that car, there's still going to be an element of things that could happen, but your risk has gone down tremendously because you know the ins and outs of it. Same deal with dealing with mean bulls. You know, once you understand the animals and respect them and know what their plans are and know how they move, there's still a chance something could happen, but it's down significantly because you know how to handle it. So kind of goes hand in hand.
Now, I know you more than most people because they only see your work.
Yeah.
But you didn't grow up thinking, oh, I'm going to be a rodeo clown. You're going to take the world championship away from Luke Branquino, aren't you?
Yeah, but you know, being a rodeo clown is actually one of the best jobs in rodeos. The two highest paid jobs in rodeo is rodeo clown and announcer. So I wanted to be a contestant. Being a contestant's not that great compared to what we get to do. So, you know, we get paid, we know what we're going to make at the first of the year. We get paid a good salary, and you know, being a rodeo clown is an awesome career. I've got a great degree in business, and there's not a job that I could get that could touch the salary I make rodeo clowning. And so while I originally wanted to be a contestant, at the end of the day, I win every performance now, so I'll take that every day of the week.
We got the riders, the ropers, the announcers, the clowns. There's another important element to putting on a really great rodeo, and that's the animals, the rough stock. These people take great care of their animals, and I tell you, the Rosser family own Flying U Rodeo up in Marysville, and they bring down the finest bucking bulls and broncos every year. Easily, you could call them the first family of rodeo. Cotton Rosser is a Hall of Famer. He's in every cowboy and Western Hall of Fame there is. His wife Karen, longtime rodeo supporters, and they've developed a program that breeds the best in bucking animals. Reno Rosser is now taking over as the general manager of Rosser Rodeo, and Cindy Rosser is our rodeo secretary and has her own bucking program. They make sure they bring the healthiest, meanest animals to Santa Maria every year.
Well, what I'm doing is I get all the entries from Procom, our central entry system in Colorado Springs. It's all downloaded onto my laptop, and then I keep track of all the times and the scores for the contestants. And then I take all of that, and then at the end of the rodeo on Sunday, then I can compute all the winners and how much money they won. All the money now, entry fees that I take, goes into a central bank, and it's paid out from Colorado Springs.
So it's not done here on the local
No,
level.
not anymore.
This is the PRCA's.
They call it Rodeo Pay.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's only been the last couple of years that they've been doing that.
Now, I've known you a long time. You don't really get to see a whole lot of rodeo. You come from like the first family of rodeo, and you're not watching a lot.
No, but thank goodness for monitors. They have a TV. I bring a TV down and they hook me up so I can watch the rodeo in the office. And I can still video some bulls from the TV.
Now, you have some of your own bulls?
Yes.
Don't you have like your bulls and Reno's bulls?
Yeah, I'm basically in charge of all the cattle. I decide which bulls go on what cows, and then I also sort the mares and colts and the studs. I've got a well-bred stud that was bred in Canada originally, and he was an AI, you know, from a long list of Calgary Stampede breeding, and yeah, so I've been AIing cows this week and bucking 53 head of calves, processing them and going through them, videoing them and grading them and worming them and tipping their horns. And
so now your family has developed this born to buck.
Born to buck, yes sir.
Explain what that is a little bit.
Well, you want to take the best mare, breed her to the best bucking stud, and hopefully you'll get you know, that great bucking horse. And the same with the cows. I go through and I keep track. Everything's numbered. Everything has a brand, so I can keep track of the cows and the mares that are producing. And you know, your female gives you 60 to 70% of what you're going to get in your animal. So I like quality, not quantity. So I want the best, breed to the best, and hopefully in the end we'll have a really good bucker.
All right, so the rodeo's coming up. We're live here at Elks Unocal Event Center. Thursday night, Friday night, both 7 o'clock, Saturday at 6, Sunday at 2, but there's more. Just like those commercials on TV, but wait, there's more. Saturday morning, there's the annual Elks Rodeo Parade down Broadway. You won't want to miss it. There's a lot of people that are going to be out. You ought to get out early so you can get a good seat and watch all the great people that are going to participate in the parade. And then come on out here. They got a great midway. There's all kinds of things. They got music performance. They got Camp Buckaroo. They got a kids zone. There's going to be a special invitation-only casino night to help raise funds for kids with cancer. There are going to be pony races. I mean, all kinds of things. Food, souvenirs, clothes, cowboy hats, whatever you're looking for, come on out. You can get it here. So it's going to be way more than just riding and roping. But when you are looking at the riding and roping, there's a couple people I'd really like you to meet. There's a very new person they brought in this year. They had a competition for the very first ever Miss Santa Maria Rodeo. Now this is different from the Queen contest. The Queens all raise money that is put back in the community, almost $12 million. They're going to go over $12 million this year. The Miss Rodeo, Miss Santa Maria Elks Rodeo, will represent the Elks Rodeo, not only here, all around the West. And she'll get to compete for Miss California Rodeo. And Amanda Hopp is the current Miss California Rodeo. She's here lending her support, taking part in every performance as well as the parade. And she's joined forces with Ashley Singh, our very first ever Santa Maria Miss Elks Rodeo. And we had a great time sitting down and talking about what it means to both of them to be here in Santa Maria.
Yeah, so we are the first woman of professional rodeo. So everybody that comes to a rodeo or sees a rodeo, it's our responsibility to share with them about the sport and educate them on rodeo. So I travel not only in California, but throughout the entire United States.
So now, Ashley, you're the first one in Santa Maria. We've never had that before. And, excuse me, you're a former rodeo queen 2 years ago, right? So tell me a little about what it's like to be the first ever Miss Elks Santa Maria Elks Rodeo.
It's a really big responsibility, and I love it. So I can help set an example. Just being humble and kind to everyone I meet, and it'll be amazing to travel all over California to different rodeos. So it'll be really fun, and I'm really excited.
Now this is different than the Queen.
Yes.
The Queen is a very good contest, but it's a fundraiser.
Yes.
Whoever raises the most money wins, and it all benefits the community. So that's nothing but positive. But this is something new and different to represent Santa Maria, not only here, but in a wider market, a wider audience. So you're looking forward to that?
Oh, I am looking forward to traveling, to seeing different rodeos, how different rodeos work, and how their community interacts with them. It'll be awesome. It'll be an amazing journey, and I'm excited to bring every information I receive to bring back to the Santa Maria rodeos, so we can make our rodeo bigger and better as well.
Now, Amanda, you had to be a Miss somebody's rodeo before you could be Miss California.
Yes.
So how did you start that journey?
Yeah, so my family got involved with the local rodeo. They volunteered, and then we actually got started in the mutton busting. I don't know if you guys do that here in Santa Maria.
We do.
Yes. So my sister started in mutton busting, and then they were like, you gotta come run for the pageant. So since then, we were hooked. There was one year that me, my two sisters, and my brother all competed in the same pageant. So they had a little Mister division. division. And then I started at the age of 5. I won my first title when I was 10 at the local division. That was a young Miss title. I then went on to the junior Miss title. I held a couple of queen titles, and then I took my hometown title of River Valley to the Miss Rodeo California pageant.
That's over by Riverside.
That's
right?
by Riverside, yep. The Miss Rodeo California pageant's actually held in conjunction with the California Finals Rodeo, which is in Lancaster every October. And then I will compete for the Miss Rodeo America pageant this December in conjunction with the National Finals Rodeo.
Now, Ashley, you're eligible for the Miss California, so you could be
very
her
big
successor.
shoes to fill. Very big shoes.
Are you going to do everything you can to learn?
Oh, definitely.
All of her secrets?
Most definitely. I'll be bugging her. She'll be very tired. Not just rodeo. We got a lot of secrets too. A lot of tips.
Now the Miss Rodeos are joined by a couple other newcomers this year. They had the very first ever Junior Barrelman contest, and Noah Ariano won that and was out in the arena this morning in his own custom designed mini Barrelman barrel. Justin Rumford had his own Barrelman in Weathersford, Texas, build a custom junior sized barrel, and Noah Ariano was out there in the arena in that this morning. It was adorable, it was delightful. And another newcomer is another Miss Rodeo. This is the Miss Santa Maria Elks Mini Rodeo. And our first ever Miss Mini Rodeo is the very delightful young Hannah Palin.
You are the very first ever Miss Mini Rodeo. What do you think about that?
It's really, really cool because, like, it's the first one. So you could just, like, be proud to be the first. And, like, it's for a lifetime, and then, like, you could be part of judging one day for the Miss Mini Rodeo.
Now, are you looking forward to all the things you're going to do? They're going to keep you busy.
Yep.
So what's the best thing that's happened today?
Probably getting the crown and, like, getting the sash.
Have you been to the mini rodeo before?
Yes.
What do you think it's going to feel like being different, where you were in the crowd before watching the whole thing? Now you're going to be
well, that'll be like really different because I've never, like, last year I didn't even think of, like, what Miss Mini Rodeo was and, like, anything about that. But now I'm, like, part of it, and it's cool.
There's one more person we'd like you to meet, a man named Coy Huffman. He's been coming here so long he can't even remember how long it's been. He first started coming as a competitor, riding rough stock, being a crazy young man, but he stayed with it and he's working the rodeo and has been here for years. Now he has been in charge of the mutton busting for many, many years. He's also in charge of the stick horse racing and the coin dig because he loves the kids event. When they're done with the kids events though, you find him in the bucking chutes. He's helping them get those bulls and broncos out into the arena. And then on the last day, Sunday of the rodeo, he's a pastor. He runs Cowboy Church. One of the most colorful characters ever to come to the Santa Maria Elks Rodeo is Coy Huffman.
How long I've been coming here? Well, we'd have to go back to the 60s, and that was the early 60s when I came here. I was riding bareback horses and bulldogging at that time, and Andy Arrighi had the rodeo stock, and that was the first time I met Clarence Minetti, and he took us out to the steakhouse down there at Guadalupe, I believe it was. And then I came back again later on, and the next thing I know, I started coming every year just to be a part of the rodeo, to do the Cowboy Church service. One of the great leaders of the Elks here, Mr. Ted, he had me to come in first time to start the Cowboy Church over there at the fairgrounds, and then we just migrated over to the place where we're at right now, and we've been doing the Cowboy Church ever since. We meet every Sunday morning, 10 o'clock in the big tent this year, and the part I play at the rodeo, I've been announced the rodeo slack. Then during the rodeo, I'm on the radio to the scoreboard and communicating the announcers who's up next in the rough stock events, and just keeping things moving, helping Reno Rosser out in front of the bucking chutes. And then of course before the rodeo, I get to do one of the favorite things, is help the kids, bring out the kids, and we do a coin dig where we put the coins in the ground and cover it up a little bit of dirt. Everybody gets in a circle, turn away from looking at the coins. We get them buried, then we turn them loose, and they're just like a bunch of little dogs out there digging and pawing, but to get the coins, and then they begin to value what they've already gotten. And thanks to some of our sponsors that have made that possible. And it's $100 coin dig every performance ahead of the rodeo, and that's a good fun. Everybody finds out that things are not hidden from you, but they're hidden for you. And it's good to see their faces when they get a coin in their hand and the smile on their face.
So in just a few minutes, the 75th annual Denim and Diamonds anniversary edition of the Santa Maria Elks Rodeo will be officially underway when Kent Lane flies that giant American flag into the arena. Then it's a full night of fun. You got a few minutes more to get down here. The stands are filling up fast. If you can't make it tonight, Friday night at 7, Saturday night at 6, and Sunday at 2 in the afternoon, don't forget the Elks Rodeo Parade. That'll be Saturday morning as they celebrate 75 years of rodeo here in the Central Coast of California. I want to thank all of you for joining us today. This has been our pleasure to bring you a special edition of 805 Sports Talk live right here at SantaMariaTimes.com. Now don't forget, you can tweet us your pictures. You can tweet pictures with the hashtag Santa Maria Elks Rodeo, or send them to us at SantaMariaTimes.com. We'll put them up on our website. We love doing that for you, and we'll be putting our own stuff up every night. We'll cover every performance. We'll be at the parade. We'll keep you up to date online and in print at SantaMariaTimes.com and in the Santa Maria Times. So make sure you check us out online, pick up your edition of the Santa Maria Times. Keep checking with us because you'll have more photos, more videos, stories all through the weekend as the Santa Maria Elks celebrate 75 years of rodeo. I'm Elliot Stern. Thank you for being with us. And as they say at the rodeo, it's time to cowboy out.